This past week, one of the largest cities inside of the 4S server was raided. I'm not talking about super suburbs or LNA. I'm talking about Astronomica, the city which contains some of the largest buildings on the entire server and is also the newest civilization inside of the 4S realm, my realm. Usually, griefing is against the rules inside of my server, but war is allowed if both sides accept. This was an extremely unexpected attack by Colin Plays Mink, who felt threatened that his castle was now under control by Gamer Person 9, the owner of Astronomica, and the land around it, which included Colin's castle. For 1 hour this past week, the two coalitions battled it out to the death and expended all of their gear, food, and resources just to try and claim the other's land. I had the opportunity to watch this entire conflict unfold, and I even got the entire thing on camera. Astronomica is a massive city, one that rivals Villager Vegas and even super suburbs. It would be pretty hard for me to explain it, so let me hand over the mic to the owner of the city, Gamer Person 9. Today's video is going to be pretty crazy, so if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do so. It really helps out the channel.
Gamer Person 9 speaking, proud owner of Astronomica. I just want to do a quick cover-up of before, during, and after the event. I had been getting warnings from friends that with a big city came a big chance of invasion, but I shrugged it off, thinking that nobody in their right mind would want to attack such a powerful metropolis. Now I realize that a city with buildings spanning to the height limit does sort of seem like a good target, but I didn't completely ignore the warnings. I spent a full day constructing a multi-layered obsidian wall on the side facing Colin's castle, thinking it would ward him off. Turns out it only became more of a target to him. The moment he saw the towering wall next to his castle, he began to load his cannons with fire charges. This was the start of the siege of Astronomica. Colin had called over his battle buddy, Elias, who also felt threatened by my city. He thought it was an obstacle in his growing empire. At first, I tried to bargain with them, but the moment Colin fired his cannons, I knew that peace was never going to be an option with him. Almost instantly, me and my friends, Spidey 1187, Fruit Loop Ace 4184, Krusty Flux, and Cod Cody Gamer rushed in to defend the city. Two sides had now formed. The moment I saw Colin's gamertag appear on the other side of my wall, the battle began. As one of the main defenders, I can say the battle was brutal. Fire charges were flying through the air, and TNT was going off in every direction. Both sides suffered serious losses after we killed each other over and over until our gear was reduced to dust, and we fought by hand. When the dust finally cleared, the damage was shown. A gaping hole was now in the side of the wall, and one of Astronomica's iconic towers had been seriously damaged by Colin's TNT. Cod Cody Gamer used his underground tunnel system to infiltrate Colin's castle, and destroyed it from the inside out. It was a day to go down in history as the biggest battle the server has ever seen. But there is a good side. Most, if not all of the damage caused by the war has now been repaired, and a treaty signed by Colin himself now states that we are allies. Soon after, the Colin-Elias Empire dissolved, and Elias robbed Colin multiple times. However, that is a story for another documentary. I'll be handing the mic back over to Eric. Thanks for having me on the channel.
No problem, gamer. Now that you know a brief history of the Siege of Astronomica, I'll be sharing the entire siege and commenting on some of the bloodiest battles in 4S history, starting off with the Battle of the Ancients. The Battle of the Ancients was the first major fight in the Siege of Astronomica. It pitted Spidey 1187 and Elias the Kid 06 against each other, both looking for a victory. The battle is named this way since Elias and Bog are some of the most active and oldest players on the 4S server. During the fight, both players were killed many times. They lost many armor sets, and it seemed to be a victory for Elias since he managed to break through the multi-layered obsidian wall protecting the city. At the start of the siege, victory for the Empire seemed inevitable. This led to the next fight, the Battle of Resistance. The second battle in the series of events that is the Siege of Astronomica would be a 1 versus 2, Elias versus Spidey 1187 and Gamer Person 9. Gamer, being a new player, was not much help to Spidey at the start of the battle. However, after Bog was killed midway through the fight, Gamer managed to put up a fight, defending the bridge linking the city to the outside world. The wall was beginning to crumble at the two main entrances, but it was still providing protection from Colin, who was still at his castle, flailing fire charges with his redstone cannons. This strategy was usually safe if it wasn't for Cod Cody Gamer's strategy of flanking. COD Cody Gamer, who is famous for his underground network of tunnels all around the 4S server, used this to his advantage during this conflict. While everybody was focused on Elias and Colin, he snuck underground and used one of his tunnels that led directly to the side of Colin's castle and began to build up to the tower where Colin had his cannons. After building up to the top, he engaged in a short fight with Colin, which left Cody dead and Colin weakened. This was enough for Colin, who decided that he would have to attack directly. He told Elias to hold off Bog and Gamer, as he would deal with Cody and Loops himself. The bombing of the shape-shifting hotel involved more than just one building. It involved two of the most important tourist space buildings in the entire city, the shape-shifting hotel and one of the two Twin Peak towers. The bombing began after Colin had killed COD Cody Gamer and began to break through the walls surrounding Astronomica. After breaking through, he ran straight to the shape-shifting hotel and placed TNT around it. After igniting it, a chunk of the building was blown to bits. He didn't stop there. He moved to the Twin Peak towers and destroyed half of one using his TNT. While this was happening, Elias was holding off Bog, Krusty, Gamer, and Cody. Right after bombing, Colin threatened to quit, but came back shortly after to fight for his cause. After Elias's pickaxe began to break and Colin was killed and sent all the way back to his base, the war started to shift directions. The Wi-Fi Alliance had managed to repel the Empire and were now on the offensive. The final offensive for the Wi-Fi Alliance was the griefing of Colin's castle, in which the Wi-Fi Alliance was led to victory by COD Cody Gamer. They stormed Colin's castle and began to destroy the entire thing. It was a sight to be seen and one of the largest griefs in 4S history. The Siege of Astronomica was a massive conflict in 4S history, and the largest fighting scene on the server at a single point in time. I just hope that there won't be as much fighting in the city in the future, since it has grown even bigger and more powerful. See you next time, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.